Hello, this is Rory with the Love Chat, and today's topic is validation. This is video number 35. If you have a question you'd like for me to consider featuring on the channel, please write it in a comment below. And if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe and hit like so that the channel can grow and reach more people. Additionally, I've started a Twitter account for updates. You can find that at thelovechat@twitter.com. Now then, validation is one of the most important topics that we can discuss in dating and relationships. Really in relationships in general, and the big reason is that everything that we do stems from a need to be validated in one way or another. Now, think about it like this. We talk about this mystical thing called the friend zone, where you get placed in if you are, quote unquote, not good enough or not desired enough to be dated by the other person, right? And so the friend zone is something that happens when we like somebody more than they like us, or rather we feel romantically about them and they only feel platonically about us. And so what happens? As soon as we are rejected, we take the rejection greater than is normal. You should think, well, I haven't dated this person, I'm not with this person yet, why do I feel this way? And the reason is, you were not validated by this person. You begin thinking, since I can't have them in this way, I must be less valuable. I must not be good enough. And the concept of value and validation comes from insecurities that are internal. We need to feel as if we are wanted. That's why a lot of people compulsively say I love you to their partner. It's a show of affection, sure, but it's also because they want to hear it back. Now imagine that you tell your partner that you love them and you don't hear it back. And for no reason other than they didn't say it. There's nothing behind it. There's no rhyme or reason, or maybe they're mad at you or whatever, but you know that they still love you deep down. So why do you begin to feel a little uncomfortable when they don't say it back? Is that our insecurities are so great that we have this need to be validated by those around us. Now, friends, we do gain validation from them, but in a very different kind. Parents, we gain an extremely different sort of validation from them. But lovers, that's the strongest form of validation because it speaks to a personal level of, if they don't want me, why aren't I good enough? One of the reasons that I suggest so much that you work on yourself is because you learn to validate yourself. The insecurities that you have today, after a couple months of working on yourself, begin to fade and disappear. And yes, there will always still be some insecurities because of how we are raised and how we view the world and the experiences that shape and form us. But at the end of the day, taking these steps forward in your life is what helps you have a happy, healthy life, where you're working on your goals, and that is the exact type of confidence that you begin to form that attracts people to you. That type of confidence and charisma is infectious, and people will want to be around you because you bring them up to your level rather than sinking down to theirs. Thinking further into this from an attraction standpoint, why is it that whenever you really like somebody, really, really like this person, you think you'd click with them well, and you want to spend your time with them, they always appear just a little less interested, right? However, whenever you're not spending any time with somebody and you're kind of take them or leave them, they really want your time and attention. And they're blowing up your phone and they're texting you and calling you. And they're saying, why aren't they picking up? Why aren't they answering? Why aren't I good enough? That's the biggest key that we're landing on here. You aren't validating them in the way that they're looking to be validated by you. Now, I've talked about this before with no contact, but if somebody's really easy to get a hold of, if you will help your ex out at the drop of a hat, they know they got you. They can be validated by you. They can reach out once, and just based off of your response or how you respond or how quickly you respond or if you respond at all, they are then validated, and they think to themselves, still got them. But the second you begin to turn and walk the other way and work on yourself and validate yourself and give yourself permission to be happy and whole, that's when you begin attracting the type of people that you want in your life. When you find and commit yourself to a relationship that is not based off of not wanting to be alone, that's when you find yourself truly happy, and the other person finds themselves truly happy. And guess what? You look great, you feel great, you're accomplishing your goals, and everything is good and clean and whole. And the reason is because you were able to look in the mirror and say, a change needs to happen for me to be happy. And so when it comes to the topic of your ex, you're probably not very happy by what they did, and that's why you're here. But you and I have already discussed that you cannot control their actions, only yours. And the more that you work on yourself, the less you'll crave their validation. And when they finally do reach out, and they see this nonchalant, relaxed, truly unfazed version of yourself, you bet that they're going to think twice about what they did. Because they're expecting to hold all the chips, all the cards are with them. But when you turn around and you make the choice to love yourself first, then that's when you truly become happy, and that's when you truly do not need someone else. Now, before I go, I want to address one of the things that I was asked the other day, which is, well, how do we do that? How do you just understand that you want validation from a person, from your ex, from your parents, from whatever, and ignore that impulse? It's huge. It draws us to do things that we wouldn't do. And the most recent example I can use is that if you have a crush on somebody, you begin acting really dopey around them, and you begin acting inorganically, and you tell jokes that you know probably aren't funny, and you're just trying to spend a lot of time with them. It's showing them that you're willing to act inorganically to gain validation from them. You think if you laugh at their jokes enough and smile at them enough and compliment them enough, it gets you what you want. When really, this other person just wants you to act like yourself. And so mom and dad were right. The true advice really is to just be yourself and accept the fact that you're going to want validation from everybody. That's what the world is. But your need to be validated will make you invisible in this world. That quote comes from Jim Carrey. So, acknowledge what you want. Do the exact opposite of it. And trust me, after a while, that will become what you organically feel. You're not going to need to go out of your way to impress anybody, because you are what you do. And so the more you do it, the more it will be organic. That's all I had for today. If you found my video helpful, I'd be very grateful if you'd subscribe and hit like. Be sure to leave a comment below and tell me what topics you'd like covered in the future. If you'd like to do a Skype or email coaching, be sure to visit my website, thelovechat@gmail.net. Until next time.